Hello again, guys. So, in this lesson, we have been studying about the passive voice and how we use the passive voice to emphasize the object, and that the object is more important in the sentence, different to active voice in which the subject has all the attention in the sentence. Now, in English, there are also other structures that can help us put more emphasis on the object and also emphasize that it is not the subject who is doing the action, but another person. So let's take a look at this structure. I like analyzing sentences because in this way we can see differences. It says read the sentences and let's try to reflect, and then we can explain when we connect. I have two examples here. A, it says Maria cuts her hair every month and Maria has her hair cut every month. Now, again, apparently those two sentences are similar, right? You remember the examples with passive voice that we said that they are similar because they are saying the same thing or it's the same idea, but the structure is different. Okay, in this example, in these two sentences, they're not the same. They are completely different. The idea is different and the structure is also different. But we use similar words. So what is the difference between the two sentences? Maria cuts her hair and Maria has her hair cut every month. Question 2. Who cuts the hair in sentence 1? If we analyze sentence 1 or sentence A, we can see that it is Maria herself who does this, right? So she takes some scissors and she fixes her hair and she is the one that is doing the action. But in B, or in sentence 2, it is not Maria who is doing the action. It is another person, apparently. But that person is not mentioned in the sentence. So we understand that in B, Maria is receiving a service, right? So which one indicates you are receiving a service? The second one. So this type of structure resembles passive voice. It's not a strictly passive voice because we're not using, in this case, verb to be. But yes, we are using a participle form and the emphasis is now in another person, not the subject. So we are trying to say that somebody else is doing something for me. So I'm having something done for me, or I'm getting something done for me, right? So we change the emphasis from the subject to another person doing something or affecting an object. So we call this type of structure the causative, and we use it again to indicate that we are receiving a service or that another person is doing something for us. Check the examples. I have some more examples, I think, for you here. And let's try to do it. In all of these, we have a person doing something. Like the subject in the sentence is the person doing the action. I paint my house. My mom is designing her dress. Tony repaired his TV. 4. They have fixed their computer. And 5. We had cut the garden grass when the rain started. Now you can see that also the sentences are in different tenses. Now, how are we going to convert or transform these sentences indicating that the actions are done by someone else? Remember the structure. We need to talk about the person, so I, right? And then we need to use verb have or get. Those two verbs are going to help us create this structure because the structure is have something done or get something done. So I paint my house can be I get my house painted. I use the participle form in the verb, and most of the time the verb goes at the end. Now I can use get instead of have. Have and get are both the same, but get is a little bit more informal and have sounds a little bit more neutral or going into formality. So I paint my house converts into I get my house painted. And in this example, it is not me, but it's a painter or a friend or another person helping me with the painting of the house. Careful when you use the different structures with get and have, because they must coincide the original. We can use have something done or get something done in all the tenses. The first one is present, so that's why we're using present. But check number two. Number two is present continuous. So when I create, I need to respect that one. So my mom is designing her dress. My mom, now I need have or get, but check that is continuous, so I need to put that one in continuous form. So I say my mom is having or is getting what? Hair dressed, what? Designed. Another person is doing the action for her, right? Number three, Tony repaired his TV. This is past, so I need to put have or get in past, had or got. So Tony got his TV, the object, and then the verb in participle form, repaired. Now you get it? Number four, if we convert this one, it is not me, but another person. So I say they have had, because the original is present perfect. So I need to use present perfect, and I need to put had in the form of present perfect. So they have had their computer fixed. And the last one is past perfect. We had cut. So we, structure for had, for past perfect is had, right? And if I'm using had, I need to put had again because that's the participle form, right? So, or have. So we had the garden grass cut when the rain started. That's how we express receiving services in English, and we call this type of structure the causative. It is possible to include the person who is doing the action for us. So we can include it with the particle by. So in number one, we can say, I get my house painted by my brother. My mom is having her dress designed by a designer, by a tailor, anything. Tony got his TV repaired by the company. They have had their computer fixed by a specialist or a technician. And we had the garden grass cut when the rain started by my father or by the gardener. Think about it. It is possible to include it, but remember that we include the agent only if it's really necessary in the sentence. This is the causative. Let's practice and let's read more about this in the book. Thank you, guys.